Cosmic horror is a subgenre of horror that focuses on the concepts of things that are completely alien and incomprehensible to our human knowledge, of things that if we were to try and understand, it might simply break our minds, as they're so completely unknowable to us that to try and know them entirely destroys our sense and understanding of reality. This genre encompasses some incredible literary works, but when it comes to other forms of media, it often fails to have that same level of impact and presence that can be seen on the pages. Today on the Panopticon Theatre, why do I think so many pieces of cosmic horror media fail to truly capture the feeling of cosmic horror and fail to sell the real terror behind this concept? How do you portray, visually, the idea of human insignificance? The common visual adaptation of cosmic horror is Cthulhu, a giant, tentacle-faced, godlike being who emerges from the depths to tear apart a town and drive its people mad. But in adapting Cthulhu this way, or indeed any similar cosmic entity, it actually stops being technically cosmic horror and instead becomes regular monster horror, because the point of cosmic horror is not that there's some big scary tentacle monster coming to tear us apart. Though these visuals have become synonymous with the genre, it's really not at all the base point of cosmic horror. Cosmic horror is about human futility. It's about seeing something, not necessarily a monster, but anything at all that is so outside our realm of understanding that we can't comprehend it, never mind do anything about it. I described it in a previous video something like this. The ant sees you drop a metal drink can, and it understands what the can is structurally, but it would not be able to conceive how it was made or maybe even what its purpose is. It could not envision a factory pressing metal into sheets or pumping drinks into them, or the wires that convey the power to the machine. If an ant saw a loose wire, it wouldn't have the ability to comprehend that touching it would instantly kill it, nor would it ever be able to understand what would cause the wire to have that effect. That is the same perspective a cosmic entity might have of us, and we of it and its technology, to put it in perspective. And to continue this perspective, the loose wire that kills the ant, the item which is suddenly so major to its reality, so massive and world-changing for it, is something that a human might nudge to the side without a second thought. The falling drink can is a meteorological event, a massive change to the world around the ant, but to the person dropping it, it's barely a second thought as they pass. To these entities, we are as an ant is, and to us, they are as a human is to the ant. What I mean by this is, we literally don't have the ability to conceive the world, biology, or technology of cosmic entities in true cosmic horror. It's like trying to conceive a fourth dimension. We can try and imagine it, but our senses are completely unable to perceive it, and as such, our brains are not wired to be able to understand it in any way beyond the abstract. Imagine, similarly, a two-dimensional being that would only be able to conceive and see a single line of vision. If we stepped into the view of one, they would see a sort of flat line of one section of our body. Translate that upwards, and you might be able to understand how seeing a cosmic being could be so inconceivable. It's anathema to our ability to conceptualize reality. This all said, it's pretty obvious why cinema, games, and otherwise fail to truly show us a cosmic entity. In these media, they don't really translate well. In films, the traditional golden rule has always been show, don't tell, but how do you show this idea, this concept, without flattening it down? Some films do it really well. Annihilation is probably my favourite example of it being done successfully. The horror is certainly a metaphor in this, but it's nonetheless a genuinely good cosmic horror when taken at face value. The shimmer is something we don't understand, that warps natural biology in ways that leave the characters distressed and afraid. They're forced to confront truths about their own reality and the reality of the world they live in being changed, that in some cases they simply cannot deal with. In the end, it's hard to say whether they really win or not. Indie media that uses less standardized forms of video tends to do a much better job at showing it, such as with Local 58 or Gemini Home Entertainment, both of which are very successful cosmic horror without totally boiling it down to big scary monster, and both of which present a literal cosmic body, a moon and a planet, as the horror, kind of. Gemini Home Entertainment does have monsters, but the source behind them is that completely unknowable concept, so it works. These deliver because they commit to placing humans in a state of confusion and disorientation, pushing back against their knowledge of the way the world works. Games likewise tend to fail due to the nature of gaming as a medium. A game wants you to feel powerful and in control. It wants to give you that sense of strength that you don't get in day-to-day life. This has been a staple of gaming through classic boomer shooters to modern-day RPGs. It's all about you, this powerful hero who can save the world. This is anathema to cosmic horror, where the source of the horror is in fact your total and utter powerlessness in the face of something that you can't even comprehend, never mind fight back against. If you can just shoot Cthulhu in the head until his health bar depletes, how mentally destructive can that truly be? How can that make you at all question your reality? Some games do it well though. I think the best type of game to capture this feeling is TTRPGs, like Call of Cthulhu or similar systems. But that requires having a very good GM who knows what it is that makes cosmic horror effective and has good descriptive skills. I love systems like Dread, where it's basically guaranteed your character will die or suffer a fate worse than death, it's just a matter of time. These systems for me are really effective at capturing the powerlessness of humans in the face of cosmic forces. In terms of video games, there are a few that manage it. PT and Silent Hill are great examples, and I'd argue Slender is actually pretty good for it too. The game might be memed to high heavens, but Slenderman is genuinely a cosmic horror entity, and the structure of Slender is actually kind of exactly what I want to see in a small-scale cosmic horror game. Bloodborne and Dark Souls are vibe-wise pretty good, but they do fall into that trap of having the bosses be, well, bosses you can generally kill. Games like Fear and Hunger capture that feeling of helplessness, and games like Doki Doki Literature Club touch on that breaking of reality and the villain using rules of reality in a way the other people in the world can't even comprehend, but these aren't exactly cosmic horror in the sense we look for. Cosmic horror works much more successfully in mediums like books, non-visual podcasts, TTRPGs, and any other medium in which the consumer's imagination is relied upon more than just directly showing or telling the horror. The human imagination is incredibly powerful, and when you don't show things in their fullness, it forces the mind to conceive of the worst possible option that each individual person can conceptualize. These mediums have the benefit of being able to describe only in vagueness the cosmic being or concept they want to portray, which allows them to lean into that powerful imagination and let that do the work. I think video games and films, if they want to successfully portray cosmic horror, need to be more comfortable with disempowering the players or characters and not really giving them a happy ending. Give your players choices where it's not good versus bad, but instead them choosing the lesser of two evils. Make the viewer wonder if the character's survival is even really what they want. Would death be better instead of facing a world they're no longer certain they can understand? Force them to question if anything their character is seeing is even reality, or whether what they're doing is actually any good. Instead of making them fight some tentacled monstrosity until it pops and drops experience and loot, make them stand at the foot of something they cannot fight against and quake, and have them only hope that it deems them too insignificant to bother about. But even if it doesn't attack, can you really live in a world knowing it's out there and that reality isn't what you thought it was? Can your mind accept a world like that? Thanks for watching today's Panopticon Theatre performance. What do you think? Did I miss anything? What do you want me to talk about next? Make sure to sub and join the audience if you want to see more.